Hey friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and this is recipe card number 3, the rule of thirds. And in fact, this recipe was inspired by Carly T. I am just really blown away by her style and her clean and simple but very bold and striking card designs. If you look at Carly T's Instagram profile, you're gonna see immediately what I mean. She has a very expert and commanding use of white space, and it really helps to focus your eyes more towards the focal image. And so for this recipe, what you're going to need is a card base, of course, anything you would like as your focal image to fill up 1/3 of the space of your card. So that could be an assembled die cut, it could be something that you stencil, some pattern paper, an ephemera, whatever you'd like. Because what we're going to do is we're going to basically only use 1/3 of this card to occupy our design, and I'm gonna leave the other 2/3 just white, plain white. I'm not even gonna cheat and use an embossed panel, like a white on white embossed panel, which I so often do because clean and simple is really hard for me. And I think with the help of this recipe card, I am going to have at least one way to achieve a really awesome, clean and simple design. One of the things that might help you a lot with this rule of thirds is the Pear Blossom Press Card Maker's T-square ruler, because it's actually got these pink dots here, and those actually mark 1/3, 2/3 along your A2 size card. So along the 4 1/4, that's going to delineate the thirds, and then along the 5 1/2, these two on this side will delineate the thirds. And then there's a 0 centering ruler as well, so you can see the halfway point also. So what I'm going to do is use this amazing card, which is available at Spellbinders. It's the Classic Rhodes Legend by Mindy Egan. I think this is her first collection with Spellbinders, probably not her last because it's such an amazing collection. And I'm gonna cheat a little bit because I think this is probably taller than 1/3. So if we're looking at 1/3 of the 4 1/4 inch side, that really only goes to this dot here. And if we put my car here, yeah, we're gonna go over 1/3, a little bit on that side, and we might just about hit it on this side. So I think this is close. Now, what I want to do is ground my scene a little bit, and I want to give this car something of a road, I guess, to be traveling on. So what I'll do is I think I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a pencil mark here. Where do I want this road? I want all 4 tires to actually land on the road, so maybe it's better to start on this side and see where this lands. So I think this is where I want my road. And I'll bring that over here, put a little bit of a pencil mark here. And then I'm going to use my T-square just to connect those lines very faintly. Does not really have to be perfect, but one of the things with clean and simple design, I feel, is that there's not going to be a lot else on your card. So I don't mind taking the time to really make sure everything's like really straight, nice and tidy. So I'm gonna put a Love from Lizzie's pinstripe sticker right on that pencil line. And essentially this is gonna form my road. If you don't have these pinstripe stickers, you could just draw that line. Just use like a black gel pen, or maybe a just any kind of pen, really. Just a nice fine tip marker, and I'm going to put this right on my pencil line and snip off the excess. So now I have a nice straight edge that is basically the road that my car is traveling on. This helps to make it feel like it's not just floating on the card, and it helps to ground it a little bit. And of course, if you wanted, you could even color in the bottom of this and give it even more of the look of a road. And I might actually, let me do that. So I'll show you what that might look like. So if my card is like this, actually the thing, maybe I won't, because I think what I want to do is I want to stamp my sentiment down here. So I think I want to leave it white. So I'm going to leave it white. I'm not going to color that space in. And I am going to go ahead and let's keep this card really flat too. So we'll keep everything really simple and flat. This will be an easy mailer. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down first so I know what amount of space I have left over to stamp the sentiment. So these cards, there's several different cards in the collection, and look at all the detail in them. It's really, really fun to put these together. You can really design your own, kind of your own muscle car, your own sports car. And there's lots of different types of cars in the collection too. So I think there's that. I think that feels pretty good. And since there's so many different layers at the top here, I'm going to burnish from the inside of the card. Really make sure that liquid adhesive makes really good contact. And then now let's get a sentiment on here. So I'm going to bring out my Misty so that I can really make sure this is it's the last thing on my card, and it is also important that if I have to stamp it a second time, I really want to make sure that it's in here and that I can always, give it a second stamping if needed. So let's see. I am going to use I think I'm going to use this stamp set. I got this from Spellbinders as well. It's from Stampenda's All the Sentiments. It really is all the sentiments. There's quite a variety here. There are sentiments in Mindy's collection, but it's a die cut sentiments, where I want to be able to stamp a sentiment in here. So I'm going to put birthday wishes, which I think will fit here. But I really want to take my time and get this nice and straight. Okay, I think that's good. Let's see if it's straight on the grid here. I think that looks pretty good. All right, so let's ink this up. I'm going to use Versified Onyx Black, which is my favorite black ink. you go. Awesome. And I think that's going to be it. So a really fun but fast, easy way to make a clean and simple card just following the rule of thirds. So leave about 2/3 of your card with white space and just keep your design to about 1/3 of your card. And you can use whatever orientation. You could have made this a portrait card and have just 1/3 of maybe the corner. It doesn't even have to be straight across the top or bottom. And if you look at Carly's cards, she has a really wide variety. Sometimes she uses just the top third. Sometimes she uses like a section across. So there's a little bit of white above and there's white below. Check out her profile. You're going to see so much inspiration, and I hope to create more cards following this recipe as well. If you play along, be sure to tag me at LV Handcrafted so that I can see what you've made. And of course, you can share your makes with me on my Facebook community group, which is Crafty Fun with Friends of LV Handcrafted. Thanks so much. I'll leave links to everything in the description box below. And until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.